All right, this part two, Dad Pod. Uh, and in all reality, it took too long to download the video and start this up. We kind of got off track of where we were at with that last one, right?
Shit
So,
happens.
gonna go ahead and move on with one of the next topics was like personal health. I had some shit going on or whatever, and a lot of questions, a lot of just made me and multiple people, I guess, what happens if you ain't here? How much have you done already? How much have you already taught your kids? How much more do you feel you need to teach?
Right.
The shit that was going on with me, it took a while to process, I guess. And you know, when I processed it, um, I mean, of course, I don't feel like I've taught them everything that I can, but I wasn't that upset. I've said quite a bit. There's a lot I've let go. There's you know they'd have had an idea of
Right.
who I am. You know what I'm saying?
I got the gist.
Yeah, yeah. And as far as like the health thing goes, there was something you said, and it was I guess I never looked at it that way, and it was so fire. I'm talking, oh, I got to take care of the family. They need this, they need that, my boy, and blah blah, all this stuff. And you were like, sounds funny, but I mean, you do got to take care of family, but you're a part of that family, right?
Right.
And I seen one of those kind of posts. It was like unpopular opinion. As a parent, you come first. And
It's true. I mean,
definitely a different statement. But I hella got the point, right? If your cup's empty, you can't fill nobody's,
exactly.
you know? So I got that. And as far as like health goes, I always bring it back. My dad was never like super obese or nothing, but he was big enough that when he came home from work, he didn't want to do shit. Tired,
Yeah.
he a little overweight, right? And
Right.
that was a key pivotal moment when I had my son. I gotta get in shape. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't.
100%.
I have to be able to do what he wants to do. So
100%.
as far as health, that's a big one.
I gotta be able. The one thing I gotta be able to do is I gotta be able to run with my kids. Like I don't need to be strong. Like I'll be strong enough. I'll figure that shit out. I need to be mobile.
Yes,
That's what I give a fuck about.
yes. That is a point I make with a lot of people with health. I've helped a lot of people work out and lose weight or whatever. And my number one thing is mobility. That's what goes, right? You don't have to be all fucking
Right.
strong or whatever. Like, but you got to be able to get up off the couch. You got to be able to bend down. Possibly pull yourself up and over something.
100%.
Yeah, you got to do those.
I don't want to be 67 years old with one of those I fallen and can't get up
Facts,
bracelets.
facts.
That's it.
Life
I don't give
alert,
a fuck.
life
Yeah,
alert.
yeah. Yeah, yeah.
100% agreed. You know,
And like, listen, I'm no health expert. I understand that like lifting weights and stuff, like definitely important. You need to like maintain musculature and stuff. But like at the end of the day, am I gonna be lifting weights because I want to fucking put up 405? Or do I want to be comfortable putting up 185 15 times? Because you know what, at the end of the day, how much it,
awesome shit. I read some shit the other day. If you can bench 225, you're like in the top 10% or something. Like most people cannot bench 225.
I might be able to put it up like one time right now.
I've
But it's not
I've
looking likely.
I've never put 225 up. That was
It's
the
not looking
one,
likely.
I mean, I never tried to that extent either. What I mean? Like you said, that was never my points. My importance was
All right.
mobility. I want to, but anyway, you said it. I'm like, man, I remember seeing that. I'm like, damn it. Shit,
Yeah.
with health, I was telling my son, like we're saying, your son's in football too. I've been like on his ass about because same thing my dad used to do it. You sit on your ass playing the game, this other motherfucker over there working his ass off, running and doing this shit because he wanted, and I've had to get on my son with a lot of that. Like, you,
100%. Like
you
my
got to.
son, like my son was like, "Hey, can we do dinner?" Like ordinarily, I don't do dinner on off weekends on a Monday with my kids. But my son was like, "Oh, can we do it so we can run through the playbook?" And I was like, "Why can't
You
we
see,
FaceTime? Like, why can't we FaceTime your playbook?" And he's like, "Oh." And I texted him. I said, "Your playbook, your responsibility, your priority."
me see
At the end of
exactly.
the day,
Yeah, absolutely.
at the end
You
of the
see,
day,
uh,
I'm here. And you know what? He didn't call. So you know what? I didn't call him either.
for
You
sure.
know what? I see that. I told you. I laid it
Yep.
out.
That's
I'm not
yep.
gonna go
Yep.
chasing you.
That's where I am with same with mine. Um, like I think with my daughter, I remember like first year she tried out for cheerleading. You know, a couple of her friends had done cheer all summer, all that. Uh, and they made varsity. She was a little upset she didn't. But I'm, we had to tell her like, did you practice at all this summer?
Yeah,
Well, why would you think you would beat the ones that did? You know, right?
yeah.
Like, why would you, why would you think that? And well, like again, back to health. All of health is discipline, you know, and that's like we're saying, that's something I'm trying to work on myself to teach my kids as well. It matters. I'm falling off drastically, but they've seen it. Like I
I
remember
mean,
this
don't get
one.
me.
I remember this one moment, man. One of the funnier moments to me. But same, my wife works out with me. We work out a lot together, or when we did, whatever.
Oh
And
yeah.
we take the kids out, and my bring it to me. My baby's over here whining. Come here, bring it. Let me see. Come on, let me see. Look, he's awesome. Y'all can't see
What's
it, but
real life
y'all
happening
smiling.
right now?
But anyway, so we're outside lifting, and come here, let me see the Olympic bar, like a deadlift bar, right?
What?
Doing deadlifts. So I leave whatever weight my wife wants because obviously I'm gonna go higher than that. It's it's
What?
it's easier to have low weight and add a heavy weight than have her have to take off what I got every time, right?
What?
Anyway, so she was just feeling herself that day. Go out there, my son out there, and she do the deadlift. She goes, "Look, Michael, I can lift as much as Daddy." And I'm like, "Tell Mama do that shit." Right? It was just kind of like funny because it was like, no, hold on here. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Don't
doing
be
some crazy,
crazy.
but it was just funny. But like again, back with health, right? In all of this, it is what you see. And as we're saying with our kids, if we do these and we lead by example, they will follow. Come
100%.
here.
Like I know, like I come from like
Let me see. Come here.
tough. It's like
Extra.
every woman in my family, including some men, have had a gastric bypass. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I already got the past rooting against me,
You're right. Most of them.
and I struggle. And like I like there are times like I look at the kids and I'm like, all right, like I'm never trying to be like looking to be someone to put down on them, but it's also looking like, maybe next time we're not getting a large coke.
That's
It's
one.
like, and it's like it's a hard, scary like thing because I don't want to ever have to get to where I'm having a conversation where I'm like, listen, we got to make changes,
So that's yeah. With you saying that, right? That was I was chubby growing up, right?
right?
And those I had them conversations with my parents, right? Where they had to like shut me down. But like one of them, I remember it was like my birthday or whatever. They bought me cheesecake for my birthday. Had a piece.
Mm.
I come back, all right, my house separate. I go back again. I was getting another piece. And my dad's like, another one? Like, it's like the cheesecake's small, but I didn't get calories. That one cheesecake, like 800 fucking calories. I know that.
Mm.
What that had to do with me? I want another piece of cake. It's my birthday, right? And then I remember other moments, again, certain medical shit or whatever. And they're like, well, he just eats potatoes and little Debbie's when he gets off school. And it's like, I didn't buy the little Debbie's.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, what do you want to do? But again, health, I was just
I'm
following
gonna
what
eat what's here.
I was following what was laid down to me. And then as it got better, come here, bring me the thing. Man, this little boy right here, boy. That's why dad pot is perfect. Boy, this little boy over here, like he almost two. So he at that age where like he pretty much bosses us all around.
Of course, he's getting his way.
Hmm. Like, bruh, no, you get up. Like y'all just can't see it. He like 10 feet. He know how to walk. He can walk his little ass over here. Give me the damn thing. My nerd. And I don't even care. I said it all on live. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Some of y'all that be honest with themselves.
I don't know how
Some
you did it again, having a 2-year-old, buddy. I couldn't do it. My
it,
daughter about to be 10. I can't.
it was my wife's idea, right?
I
But
can't. Ain't no way I'm going
at first
backwards.
I was like, nah. And then after we had him, I was like, man, I damn near could have been dirty dozen, dog. I could have had another 10 motherfucking kids straight up. Like I do enjoy it's hard, but like I do enjoy being a dad for sure. You know what
It
I mean?
is fun when like I remember like just like the things like I remember we had this thing like because I lived like on a barrier island, so I got the ocean on one side and I got the bay on the other side. So we lived on the bay side, and like there used to be like I don't know fucking some log or something, and like I don't know, I got in my head Peter Pan or something, and I used to take my kids over there like
Come
there's
here.
the alligator, there's the alligator,
Oh,
and we
from Hook.
yeah, and we would go,
Yeah.
we would walk.
There
And it's
was
like,
one?
nah, it was just like a
Oh.
fucking, they'd be like, where's the alligator? And it was just like this little piece of wood. And then it went away. And they were like,
Give
oh,
me
I guess
one
the
second. I
alligator.
see he fucking bossing me around.
Life with children, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it is.
Man, little shit. But with that, Hook is the best Peter Pan of all time. They've never made a better one than that.
I love Hook.
They're
People
all,
fucking shit on Hook. Fuck them.
dude. I haven't really heard anybody do that.
People shit on it. They say it's like Spielberg's worst movie. Get the fuck out of here.
See, I
I
loved
love
it.
Robin Williams.
And maybe
Get the
that's
fuck out of
same.
here.
Maybe that's why I really loved
Love
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
I think it's
I'm gonna crow like a rooster all
one of my
goddamn day.
favorite
I
movies.
fucking love that.
I have this one of the new songs I did. It's called Hello World. I say, Hello World, it's me again. I've been trying to think happy thoughts like Peter Pan on the ground. I need a hand. And it was like
Ooh.
that's the hook, right? Like think happy
Yeah.
thoughts, think happy thoughts. I'm like, that's
Everything
every
every
day. Think happy thoughts, think happy thoughts. Oh yeah, that was the best hook.
I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Toodles, I lost my marbles.
I had to buy that movie. I bought Hook. I bought The Labyrinth. You seen that with David Bowie?
Fuck, I've seen the labyrinth. Of
Favorite,
course, I've seen the labyrinth.
another one of my favorite movies. Shit, I be walking around.
I didn't know that was a movie. Like I thought it was something that like made up in my mind.
Really? Until you like
Yeah.
ran back into it?
Until I met Jennifer, and she was like, "Have you seen this movie with David Bowie?" I
No,
was
that's
like,
great.
"Shut the
That's
fuck
just
up."
real. That's
I was
funny,
like,
huh? How your
I was
mind
like,
does that?
"Yeah, yeah."
Hell
I
yeah.
fucking love the
That's
labyrinth.
what I want to do. I it's so funny. Like, well, both my kids growing up their whole life, like it. Again, I'm like goofy. I do all my stupid shit, but I'd be like, slime and snails, and then my son would be like, and puppy dog tails, because I see that shit all the time. Like, but that's my shit, man, for sure. But
See,
anyway,
I've got the same thing because, like, for the longest time, like my favorite movie for the longest time was The Fifth Element. I don't know if anybody like if you
no,
haven't
what?
seen it.
Yeah, yeah,
It is fucking epic
I
cinema.
love that movie.
My new favorite movie is Everything Everywhere All at Once. That movie's incredible.
Never heard it.
Fucking, you never seen it?
You should
Go watch it.
text it to me
But
because I won't remember.
in Fifth Element, there's two things that I say all the time, and it's both from the chick. She says, "Lilo Dallas Multipass,"
I
and
remember that.
I'll say that to my kids. And there's this part where she takes like some pills and she puts it into a microwave,
Yes.
and it turns it. And she says, "Check on, good."
And
And I say that shit all the time. And I go chicken, and my daughter will go good.
I love it. Yeah, them kind of goofy, dumb shit.
Yeah,
You know what I was telling my wife today. We was in the car and that Usher song that oh my God, you know what I'm
yeah,
talking about? And you let me love you down. Anyway,
yeah,
I with both my kids, I was like when the scenario comes up to say oh my God, that's what I do. Oh my God, every time was driving. Me and my son were like kind of like how you were saying like a boy trip. We had a boy trip. We driving out of town, and the song
yeah.
come on. He's in the passenger seat. The song just come on, and he just looked at me like that. I'm like, what? He said, "Was that you? Did you say that?" I was like, "No, say what?" And then the song keeps going. He goes, "You got that from a song?" And I was like, "You didn't know I've been saying that shit from a song all these years? I never
That's
heard this
great.
song." I just thought it was like that's just funny. That's just
That's
hella funny.
hilarious.
You know,
Hell yeah.
and that brings me to our final topic was communication, right? You know, that's what we've been talking about this entire time in different areas. there's so many different highlights and areas of communication, right? We were taught to communicate a certain way through school, through our parents, through a church, or through the military, or through a job. Everybody communicates different, right? And with us having kids, or I guess, for me, like I was saying, my scenario of my job or me controlling my peace, I've had to learn how to communicate with what made me feel the best, with what kept my peace, with what makes me happy, right? And kind of we were saying a little bit before, like with a religion or God or whatever, you know, it doesn't matter what the conversation is. When I'm conversating or communicating, whether it's a kid, a coworker, a friend, I'm never trying to push anything. I'm never trying to make you think or feel what I feel, but I'm giving an experience of why I feel what I feel and why I think what I think, you know.
Right.
And with like this, communicating with whoever, and especially in our conversation of kids, right? You have to dumb it down. And I bet you don't even remember this shit. Maybe I'm like, you know what? Maybe you didn't tell me this. Maybe I told you this because you used to always use fucking big words
Mhm.
for no reason, and you even admitted like I was wrong an hour ago, and I just kept fucking, But at the same time, you was like pushing us, like, well, then, either you're right or you don't, But
Yeah.
again, I don't remember if you said it or I read it, but it was you don't know the subject or what you're talking about until you can explain it to an 8-year-old.
That's what Einstein said.
Is that who was? So then it had to be you then. And I loved it. I loved the statement because right at the time, probably when you said it, we didn't have no kids. Now I had
Right.
kids. I'm like, damn, that's solid, right? That's that's the way what you're talking about. You know what I mean? And so I
Right.
kind of treat that with everybody. I try to go, for lack of better words, the dumbest I can do.
I I think maybe I'm giving myself more credit here. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Maybe that's one of my issues is that I don't feel like I can communicate what I know like well enough so that instead of doing it, I just don't.
Well, like with what you're saying, it's not, it's definitely not a bad thing at all. Like I seen a funny kind of meme the other day. It was like a college student talking to their auntie, and their auntie like, "You so damn smart. Why you talk so ghetto?" And so she talked college smart, and
I
the
did
auntie,
see that one.
yeah, and the auntie
I
like,
did see
"What?"
that.
And she goes, "And that's why." Right? But also with kind of, I guess what you're saying, there's been probably a couple times on a podcast, but just in general in our whole life, you'll say something and I don't know what you're talking about, like whether it's a word or whatever, and I'll ask, "What does that mean? What are you talking
Right.
about?" Most people don't have enough humility or are too afraid to go ahead and ask that. They'll go, yeah, right. And they have no idea. That's another, again, with communication as a whole of people, that's something we've gotten really far on where people humiliate the other for not knowing what I know. Like I was sitting there talking today about like being bipolar, and I was trying to explain, well, a couple people, I was trying to explain what it feels like. So I was like, let's say that, like, emotion wise, because we know sometimes those emotions are not real. We're putting
Right.
them ourselves. But I was like, what it's like sometimes like this. Let's say like this. I don't know. You know how to do math really good. I don't. Right? For you, some of these things are common sense. For me, they're not at all. So, like bipolar, I'm just using an example. Right? So,
Right.
bipolar is like when I have a certain emotion that's not real or whatever you want to call it. The other person is like, so again, we'll use math. Okay, divide 22 by 367,000 and the root and the decimal. They add all the shit. And I'm like, okay, how do you do it? Well, I don't know. You should know. Yeah, yeah, but I don't know how to do it. So how do you do it? Well, you should
Yeah.
know. And so it's like, again, with the emotions, now I feel stupid and I feel dumb for feeling or whatever it is. But the people I talked to didn't give me any direction, didn't show me how to help, didn't, there's no patience. And so, again, and that's
That
a,
is that is the tough thing. That like the reality is like somebody that also struggles with bipolar, like mental illness, it's like the one illness that like you don't get no credit for.
mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
you got a broken leg,
yeah,
people
right,
like, you
right,
know what, this motherfucker's gonna operate a little slower.
right.
But like it's just
100%.
it's just the reality. It's like, and I don't blame other people. It's like, how could you possibly know what it is? Like, I get that, but at the same time, like, don't treat me
Yes.
like my
And
shit
excuse
ain't
me.
broke.
Excuse me. And this is where I'm going again with the communication. Since I found out, I was bipolar or whatever, all this stuff, I felt much more comfortable communicating and talking to other people about it. This is why I did want to do these kind of podcasts. You're one of the kind of people as well that's not scared to say the reality. This is fucking how it is. Like, and you take it how you want to take it or send it back to me, but this is real. This is what it is. And I've had a lot of conversations with a lot, especially with the bipolar. The general idea of what bipolar is incorrect. People are confused. People almost take bipolar shit with like steroids, like how people have steroids.
Right,
I mean, definitely anger comes and people have it, but that's bipolar isn't just you lose your shit. You know what I'm saying? There's quite a bit more to it. Um, but anyway, as far as like communicating and talking, I feel like that's something, whether it's been my kids or people that I've been more comfortable with trying to, again, explain. Let me tell you why. Because even I want to say real quick, I had a conversation with my son, with all this Charlie Kirk stuff, and I'm just he ran into the real video, seen it, and he's
right,
he's like, I wish I didn't see it, and I'm like, I wish you didn't either, but at the same time, I'm glad you did. That's death. That's real. That shit's real. This ain't fake. It's not a fucking video game. That's what fucking happens, right? And so I'm kind of you know, expressing to both my kids suicide and those kind of emotions. The older you get them. And it's not that it's wrong. Probably 10 out of 10 people in their life thought, I'm ready to kill myself, right? People
everybody
feel it,
got it.
right? So I'm explaining to my son, like, man, carved no tears in my chest at like 17, like with the fucking rail. Oh, man, don't cry, right? And I'm like,
Right,
so we get those moments, and he never heard that from me. You know what I mean? And again, communication. I was able to kind of draw from an area but you know what I mean? I communicated luckily the proper way where he took in that info. You know what I mean?
right. I mean, I'm scared to talk to my kids. Like, I've like communicated to both of them, like, listen, this is reality. Like, your dad is bipolar. And because of my situation, luckily, like, I was writing these things in terms of like also trying to make amends and like, listen, this wasn't your fault. And it is my fault. It is my fault. Absolutely. But please understand that this is a struggle. And through this struggle, I did fail. I did. But with me as your dad, this is the reality. Like, I'm going to do my best.
And like that
But
again. Go
there are
ahead.
going to be, there might come times when I do fail. And for that, I'm sorry. And like, I'm never going to give myself the out.
Yes.
I'm never going to do that.
And those like
That's
those that with communicating, like you have already said we talked. You've expressed with your child, thank you. You've expressed I'm sorry, which your parents probably never said, right?
no,
We're making those changes and we're learning how, like you said, to communicate with them. The same concept with me being bipolar or whatever. Like, well, I guess I'll say it online. I thought I had cancer. I don't think it is. The my son come up and
God
asked me
willing.
today, and I didn't even talk. I said I didn't talk to nobody about it. I didn't even tell my son or nothing. And he come up and take the fucking football practice. He goes, so did you find out if you have cancer? Right? And I'm like, ugh, right? No, so I explained everything to them. Same thing, but that's what I mean about the communication and talking. It is hard as a parent because I was telling somebody not too long ago. I mean, my son's 12 now, but man, it had to be up until about 8, maybe even 10. My son legitimately thought I was Superman. He still believed I could lift that car, and I'm lying. I can't lift the fucking car up, but
Yeah.
he fucking thought I could for real. Like, so again, communicating, like it is hard to be vulnerable around the kids because they like I kind of was telling you earlier about me talking to you or whatever. It's hard to be vulnerable because we don't want to seem weak. We want to show them that strength. However, at the same time, again, as we learn to communicate properly with our children, with our coworkers or whoever, it gets easier to learn how to say something to whoever so they get it. Right. Because same thing, like
Yes.
I said with mine, I don't want to scare my child. However, I want to prepare him. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
that's what it's all about.
And like I get like they're like I said, like I come from a family that like everybody got gastric bypass.
Yeah, yeah.
So like it is one thing. Like I'm like, listen, you had a soda, we're getting a refill. Listen, I don't think we need another one.
Accountability.
Like, let's do like a diet. Like, hey, like we have fried chicken yesterday. Like, maybe today we're having something else. And like, just like not trying to shame them, but calling out a reality and trying to like guide them into like making like I'm not really going to give them the choice. Like, if they're going to make a bad decision, I'm going to say, well, again, we had fried chicken yesterday. Mm. Now that we've had that, do you think having a cheeseburger today is a good idea? Pizza? No, probably not. So, like,
With that shit, man, that's so much of what the world is missing right now. Real people, real discussions, real debates and conversations. You know, I tell those kind of things. I'm like, I have a lot of those. I've realized over time I'm a little rough sometimes. I adjust. I learn how to communicate what I mean to with whoever the person is. But I'm rough, like so, like the way you kind of said with that. We had fucking fried chicken yesterday, right? And it's you want a burger today. I'm always like similar where I'm telling you like you the one to say you want to do all this shit. You know what I mean?
right.
Like you really about to eat that fucking burger? I'm not that nice. At some once we get to a certain level, I'm holding you accountable. Like I tell people, the number one example I give that happens to me the most is people want to learn to lose weight or whatever, and I'm helping or whatever, but they can, oh, I really want to lose weight. I don't know what to do, blah blah. And I've been trying to help, but they're like, I don't lose weight while they got a cupcake in their mouth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the business now. Like we're not we're now you're an idiot. You're being ignorant. But like again, communication. Those are
And
go
like,
ahead.
listen, I get it. Like, I'm somebody like I struggled with weight like my whole life. Like, even in the army, I wasn't fat,
How much you
but
weigh?
I was right now probably 250. I gained like fucking 35 pounds.
When I went to the
I
doctor
had
today,
got,
I seen. When I went to the doctor today, I saw it. I was like, damn, I gained 15 pounds this year. I was 220. I'm 233. Oh
yeah,
fuck.
sorry, I'm like 250. Last year, I was at like 215.
Yeah,
I
it
was
happens.
like,
It
and
happens.
but last year I was like running and shit, and then I stopped. But like, I've made it like a commitment, and like, some people like, I've talked to a few people about this, and some people get mad at me, and some people are like, when I want to go visit my sister in Arizona, I was like, you know, it would be dope. I got a running app, like getting a run in another state, like I'll be able to look back on that and like, you know what, like I'll remember this trip. Like, I was on this run, so I was like, I'm gonna go on a run, and the kids were like, all right, let's go. And I was like, okay, don't get me wrong, like I'm not gonna go crazy. It's like I'm in this zone 2 thing, so you're like, you're supposed to be able to be like conversant, or if like your heart rate is too high, you walk. So we get out there, and mind you, this is Arizona. My kid's from New York.
The
This is
heat.
Arizona in fucking August. But like, me and my son run and I walk, and then my daughter, she keeps kicking back, and I'm like, listen, you asked to come. At the end of the day, I told you I'm coming on this run. I'm doing it whether you pick
Yes.
up or not. I'm going. And she cries, she's crying. And she's like, you're leaving. And I left her ass. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
I'm gonna go up and I'm gonna turn my ass right the fuck back around. What are you talking about? I'm leaving you.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Like, let's go. What are we doing? And like, I kept pushing her, like, listen, you said you were gonna come. No, this is like, I told you, this is my time. This is my
Yeah.
thing. This is what I'm doing. You said you were gonna come with me. And like, she cried, she's crying. At the end of the run, I stopped. I turned around. I ran back to her. And I said, you know what? You were out here, weren't you?
Yeah. 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 Might not all be in the same spot, but you
I
did
was
it.
like, you know what? You were out here.
Yep.
You know what? Let's all get home together. Let's walk.
100%.
Let's
And
go.
even like that, right? Again, those are lessons. Like, and we've kind of got to that point in the world in our life where, tough love is not really accepted anymore. You know what I mean? Um, but again, I think with the right communication, tough love can be understood. You know, like I was kind of saying, I think the other video where, you know, or maybe it was on the phone, whatever, where my dad didn't tell me he loved me until I was 21 years old. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so again, a lot of the lessons he taught me, I think that end communication of it's because I care. I think that would have went a long way, you know. And yeah, that's where you're saying kind of where you're at. You know, you still went back out and showed her like, hey, you know, I know it's hard on you, but we did it, right? We here, right?
Right. And then when like for the rest of the day, like anybody asked, I was like, you know what? I didn't bring up shit. I was like, you know what? We got this run done.
Yep, yep.
Like I wasn't doing like, listen, ain't nobody else was out there. Ain't nobody else decided to get up and put the shoes on and get out in the heat. Nobody else did that. I'm not gonna sit here and like you did that.
Yep.
You get to carry that part throughout the rest of the day.
Yes,
What
sir.
happened while we were doing it? Listen, that's just us being us on a run.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like
And
we
then
don't but like at the end of the day, we're sharing our accomplishment.
yes. And that's I think that was what was so good is that you were able to show her that even when you're not the best, even when you didn't come in first, you did accomplish something, right?
Right.
That is a big deal because a lot of people, when whatever it may be, quit because they think, you know, like with music, for instance, I'll give that example. I've had quite a bit of people that maybe just started doing music this year, last year, a couple years. I mean, I'm about 4 years away from 20 years of doing music and writing, probably longer, right? Why would you expect to be as good as me? Why would you even think you could be? It's
100%.
almost impossible. So same thing with
Right.
again sports with whatever we're talking about. If I've done this so many years, why would you even think you could walk in and just, you know? But again, it comes with communication. It comes with, and that's something I've had to communicate that with people in whatever way. Like I worked on this shit, right? You like doing this, you want to do it, then keep coming running with me. The more you run with me,
100%.
you're gonna be up here with me eventually, right? You
Yeah.
know. But again, back that's how you communicate, how you know bring things up.
I will say the strange thing is like as I'm thinking about it, my daughter is the one that I've had to give tough love to the most. Like my son,
Mine
like
too.
he just like he'll just do it.
Yeah, mine
And with
too.
her, like I remember I was teaching her how to ride a bike. And mind you, I live on a boardwalk, it's
I
real busy.
remember you saying that when the bumps and
Yeah. And people used to bitch at me, like, what are you doing? How dare you? Why don't you take her to a safer place? I'm like, that's where she lives.
it's what she gonna ride a bike most of the time.
Where's she gonna like she gonna ride a bike
That's
where
how they do
nobody
with
else around?
driving. With a driving test, they
That's
take you
what
where
I'm
you
saying.
live.
I was like, get the fuck out of here. This is where she's gonna be riding a bike. And I hounded her, hounded her. I remember I made her cry. And I was like, damn, like, and I realized I'm not working. But like I went to her and I said, I'm sorry. Like I was trying something to push you
Hmm,
to
hmm,
ride the bike.
hmm.
You didn't fail. Like I
Yeah,
failed.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's part learning
Let's
how to. Yeah.
let's take a break. Take a step back. We'll walk the bike, and then we'll get back on. Goddamn, she rode that bike that day.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I still got video of both my kids learning how to do it. Saying I felt
It's
proud,
such a
super
it's
proud.
such a fucking
Right?
oh that, like I
Right?
don't know how many more feelings are better than
Right?
just seeing your kid all of a sudden take off.
Accomplish that. Yeah. Accomplish what
And
they
it was
thought they couldn't.
and I'm lucky enough that again, like I live like on a public boardwalk, so people were like fucking cheering
That's
and
so tight.
shit.
That's so
It
dope.
was incredible. It
And
was I'm
hey,
telling you,
and anybody watching this, that's the community we all need to have, man. I know y'all heard the phrase. It takes a city, a town to raise a
takes a
child.
village.
So it's true, man. Those little things, whether y'all think it matters or not, man. If y'all there, you witnessing these kind of moments, do those, man. Like those mean so much to the kid, or even like he was saying it to the father. Those things mean so much, man. Like we got to get back to that as a community of people and humans caring about your partner child, your stranger's child. We got to get back to those things, man. Those are so important, Because same thing, I bet you that's a memory she gonna remember for her whole life. You know what I mean?
I mean, I hope she remembers it the right way.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
maybe she's
No,
getting a bit older. Maybe she can look back and be like, you're a fucking asshole. You ruined me. And
maybe
then you
if
know what I'll
maybe it
and
might
then
be
you know
fun.
what
Yeah.
and then I'll tell her. I bet your bitch ass still know how to ride a bike.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe there might be a moment, I remember moments with my pops or whatever, but eventually I got older and like, all right, I get it for the best. But anyway, yeah, again, run out of time, which is awesome because that means we really flowing with these ideas and thoughts. But anyway, it was not, these were good ones. I'm gonna put them both together. I think I probably first one like being thankful. Um, I feel like we said communication on this one, but I feel like I labeled one communication already. So we'll see. I'm gonna have to label it.
Man,
It don't even fucking matter to that extent. But anyway, this was the Dad Pod. Of course, as always, that's Sam Law and this Midas Cam Me. It was a great thing. Anybody that watched either one of these, man, we would love your comments. We love your replies of anything we talked about, anything you think you would want us to touch up on again. We would gladly do a video. We do this for fun. You know what I'm saying? So there's
oh yeah.
no reason we wouldn't continue on a topic. So anyway, appreciate you, Sam. Till the next time, dog.
All right, Michael.
Peace, Michael. Here we go. Peace.